thing, we can't find equipment to rent because we're so busy in Nashville. Everybody's got it rented out. So, we're struggling to find rental equipment. But we do buy new equipment, and we're having trouble getting equipment to buy because there's such a demand for it. And I think part of it is the steel prices and stuff, and fuel.
Yeah.
One thing after another. And it's like, they're even having trouble pricing a lot of the equipment stuff right now.
So,
Because as soon as I get a price on a new piece of equipment, they're telling me this is only good for like a week.
Dang, a week.
Yeah.
So you need to get down here and write a check or sign a contract or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
have you had to sub out any work because you couldn't find rental equipment?
No, we it's kind of working to our advantage, but it's a disadvantage as well. But we're having trouble getting materials, especially like ductile iron pipe. So we're having to postpone some of these jobs because we can't get materials delivered. So that's buying us time. So we're able to jump our crews and stuff around. Jobs that we do have materials for, we're going ahead and getting them knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's have been a few jobs that we've doubled up on labor, get them knocked out, and just because they don't have a job ready to go. So yeah, we're getting them knocked out in a hurry, but I've got just say 2 5-man crews on a job that only needs 1 5-man crew. So if you've got a wide open job or project where you can work on different areas, that's good to have 2 crews. But some of these jobs were like in the last few weeks, and we're kind of concentrating in one area. Now you got 10 men and 4 or 5 pieces of equipment all right here in one area, and you kind of working on top of each other. Actually slows down production.
Yeah. Does that, I guess, do you guys have like a clause in your contract that says like if they're delaying materials or something like that? I mean, are you protected?
Well,
or can the GC say, well, have you voided your agreement in some fashion, and they can go back on the market and receive additional quotes? Or
well, ordinarily yes, but here in the last few months,
but everybody's in the same boat.
Everybody's in the same boat. And so what we're doing is like when our contracts are written, we stipulate that, these time frames are based on actual material delivery to site.
Yeah.
Because our suppliers, whenever you're in the process of bidding a project or pricing it, they'll tell you, we don't know how quickly we can deliver this, but, we think we can get it in 6 weeks. Well, we get the job awarded 4 weeks down the line. I call and order the materials. Hey, I need them here in the next 2 weeks. Well, they've been pushed back. It's been delayed. And at that point, it's another 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And sometimes they show up sooner. Sometimes it's later. But, there's no really rhyme to the reason right now. I mean, we can't get it figured out. They can't get it figured out. And, manufacturers right now, pipe manufacturers, have sent out letters, and our suppliers have sent us these letters, and they're calling it scrap surplus is what they're calling it. Because of the deal with Ukraine and everything else going on with scrap metal and stuff, they can't get the product they need to make the ductile iron pipe. Mm. So what is happening, and brass is another issue. It's going through the same similar issues. So what they're doing is they're putting these big surcharges onto the material, and that's my issue right now is trying to get change orders to cover these material costs. And what they're doing is they've added a flat per ton price, which costs 40 tons all they can haul anyway on load. Depending on what size your pipe is, depending on how many feet you get. If you've got a 40-inch pipe, you don't get very many feet.
Yeah.
If you got a 6-inch pipe, you can get a lot of feet in a load. But what it boils down to is about $3,500 to $4,000 per load cost. And this is after you've already bid a project, you locked in on a price with your owner or developer, whoever you're working for, and now you've got to go back and try to lobby and say, hey, look, these are the letters that they sent out, and suppliers are pretty much saying, we're sorry, but if you can find your product somewhere else, go get it. We really don't care.
Wow.
We got enough people waiting in line.
And this is something coming down to support the Ukrainian war effort? Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. So they're taxing.
It's not supporting it. It's because a lot of our metal and stuff comes from Ukraine.
No, yeah, I don't think there's no association there. You're saying that they can't get it out of Ukraine right now, so they're having to.
They're putting a surcharge on it.
Surcharge on it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes back to like a supply and demand. demand's high, supply is low, and the only reason supply is low is because we can't get the product to make the material.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a constant struggle. It's a game right now. I mean, it's tough to figure out what to do, how to handle it, and a lot of our quotes that we send out, we're only guaranteeing pricing for 5 to 10 days, and a lot of my material quotes now say today's quoted materials will be sold at tomorrow's market price.
Yeah. So at tomorrow's
so it's open market, yeah. So I mean, it's like it's almost like a what do you call it? Variable interest rate.
Yeah, and it's tough too to plan when you've got multiple jobs on the books and you got multiple jobs waiting for material.
Right.
If it all happens at once and yet they all start to fall within that same window, I mean, what do you do then? Just have to work a lot harder, or do you try to scale up, put another crew together? Or?
Well, it doesn't really happen like that.
Okay.
It's like we're getting piece of loads. It's like
piece. I got
yeah,
you. Okay.
It's like,
so,
hey,
all right. So then you got mobilization then going all over the place.
Yeah, and they'll say, with this project here, we've got enough. We can get to in the next 2 or 3 days. It's only going to be about 30% of it.
Wow.
But hopefully, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we can get you the rest of it.
Okay. Okay. So then you have multiples in progress. Then.
Yeah.
Well, that's something, I guess, but still.
Well,
still not easy though, having to move.
And we're trying to like borrow products. Like if we got a job that's stocked really well, we'll try to borrow products and move from that job to another job, and replace it when others come in.
Okay.
But a lot of times you got to be careful because you've submitted X brand of materials,
Right.
and then this site over here has got a totally different brand of materials.
Okay.
And so then you got to try to resubmit submittals, or they come back and say, well, if you're going to use this one brand, we want it through the whole project. So they're trying to hold your feet to the fire,
Yeah.
That way they're only doing one manufacturer.
Sure. No, absolutely. Yeah. If you have a problem.
Get warranty
Yeah.
issues, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not just us. I mean, everybody's having the same issues, and
Yeah.
it's just frustrating. I mean, it's like times are good right now, and have been for a while, but you can't enjoy it or reap the benefits because
Right.
you got all this hassle and headache
Yeah.
you got to go through to jump through hoops to make it happen.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any increase in warranty issues with the current supply shortage?
No, but those products are just now getting put in the ground and stuff, and so that may be some issues down the line, but it still seems like you're getting the same quality materials.
Yeah.
Guys are sitting in a plant just waiting to do the work, but they don't have materials to work with.
Wow.